Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 3 of What If Rimuru was summoned as the shield hero. In the last part, Deku just got Rimuru. Sorry, I've been doing mostly Deku What Ifs for the last 2 days, so Rimuru just got back to the town where in the anime Naofumi is kind of attacked by um, Motoyasu until um, the younger princess arrives and says that it's not a good idea to do it since they're supposed to be heroes and that it would kind of defeat the purpose and that they're in the middle of town, that it's going to destroy everything. Rimuru basically says, yeah, I was kind of trying to tell him that, but he wouldn't listen. Since he doesn't dislike the royal family, he just dislikes Malty and the king. Well, he basically didn't even care that she was royalty. She was someone that he could trust. So basically, that's um just like in the anime, he saw Philo for the first time in her human form, which basically kind of makes him say that she's cute, as well as telling Raftalia she changed. And then Philo kind of turns into Big Bird and kicks him in the groin. So, yeah, after that, stuff happens. Um, she meets with her dad, and then Naofumi goes to leave. She goes to talk to them, and then someone tries to use a crystal to trap him by trying to kill the princess and him protecting her. But this time, what he does is basically let it happen and then give her a potion to heal her. Then looking straight at the thing, which everyone in town literally saw, and he basically said, "So you're ready to kill her just to try and make me look bad? I knew you were low, but at that point, King," which he got angry, and the soldiers basically tried to attack him. Which then, in front of Melty, the younger one, whatever, he basically made the spear appear and used both the spear and the shield in tandem. Then she asked him how he got that. Motoyasu's the one supposed to have it. Then he said, I have multiple secrets. But I'm going to tell you some of them. But for now, I need to protect you from those bastards that won't kill you. So he basically puts them all down without killing them and asks her if she knows where the queen is, since she probably is going to be easier to reason with. which she says that it's true that it's going to be that. Also, the crystal ball broke, so nobody can see anything else. All they saw was some soldier trying to kill the princess, him healing her, because he literally acted as if he didn't see it happen. Like, he turned back right before the guy started charging. So, after the sound it made, he gave a potion, she got healed, he beat down the soldiers that went to try and attack her, or at least that's what it seemed for everyone. And no one's actually thinking that he's a problem in this one, because after a while they kind of saw that he wouldn't rape her. He's basically trying to help everyone in any way unless they do anything to harm others. And so yeah, so they don't even, nobody thinks about that he did it except not Chrome. Um, sorry, I've been looking back at the series Doctor Stone. Um, so the only people that still believes that happened are dumbasses, the church, the king, and Motoyasu. The other two are sure that she's lying at this point. In fact, they're so sure that every time when she asks them to come with her to try and get her sister back, they basically said, "No, we won't do that." He's trying to protect her, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go somewhere where it's safe. So we won't help you do anything, since he's already good enough to do that. Since he's stronger than us and able to wield two of the weapons. Which she get mad at, as well as Motoyasu. Then her, Motoyasu, and a group of guard leaves. The church start thinking of doing more ways to harm him, since for them he's the shield, he must be destroyed. So basically, while they're going away, they stop at the same town they did in the anime. Practically everything happens the same with the guy who's running the place and taking the kids as slave. This time the difference is that he's going to die. Because literally Rimuru explained his way of thinking. He showed everything he was to Philo and Melty. Malty. I have to go check, seriously, it's starting to bug me. Okay, so yeah. He told everything to Melty and Philo. Both of them know that he's a slime, that he's strong, and he gave her second name to Philo, basically giving her his family name. So, as well as Ranga giving him his third and last name. Since this time, since it's Ranga Tempest, he's going to give him the last name Wolf to make Ranga Tempest Wolf, just to try and see if after a while it would continue becoming more and more like Runga. And now he looks almost exactly the same, except he has 3 horns instead of 2. He's a bit smaller, but he has the same capacity to grow, become smaller, and every power he has. So basically now they don't actually need to stop every night, but still they stopped at the town. So like I was saying, the guy died this time because Raftalia wasn't able to control herself and literally just did it. So yeah, he's dead. Well, almost dead. And I would say the reason he died after that was basically like in the anime when he got killed by a monster after he liberated it. So, just like in the anime, after beating the guy, they went down where there was the cage with the kids and stuff. The kid that almost died afterward because he was really hurt got healed. Everyone that was still alive got healed. They were brought out. They were getting away when the guy unleashed the T-Rex looking monster, which basically they started running away from because Rimuru didn't know if he could take it, and well, it was mostly because he wanted to protect Philo, Raftalia, Unga, and Melty, as well as the others. So just like in the anime, they ran away. This time more because he didn't want to harm them or the town, so he was trying to get away. Near the lake, the Floreal Queen arrived and tried to go and literally beat it up the monster. This time I would say that before she's able to kill it, Rimuru said, "Hey, don't kill it just yet." Which kind of looked at him, and he basically got under it, turned into a slime farm and said predator. And just a massive ball of slime kind of forms around it and turns back into the small little blob. Which he then turns back into his human form, and then the Filorial Queen teleports them to where she was staying. So Rimuru didn't absorb the monster shard into the shield or the spear that he has now. But yeah, so she tells her about her story. She tells him that if there's problem between him and the other heroes, she would kill them all. He said that even if the others were dead, he would be strong enough to take any wave. She was sure that he was lying. So yeah, after a while of talking, he completely explained his situation about him being literally one of the monsters that he's a monster that continuously grow without needing to level up. He can give name to monsters or other beings that are monster-like Raftalia, and basically, he explained that he gave 2 names to Philo, 1 name to Raftalia, and 3 names to Ranga. Which he then explained that from what he saw, they don't actually need to level up anymore to gain powers. They basically grow like him. So then she asked him what his power was. Basically, he looked just a bit taller than her, so it's funny how they just look like 2 kids going around. And yeah. She decides to do the same test with Philo the next day. This time Philo evolved the second time, and when she went into her bird form, she has different color and already has the 5, well, in her human form she already has the little thing that she has, the part of hair that just go up. And in her bird form, she's about 1.2 times bigger. She has some feathers that are blackish. And let's say that she emanates a weird aura that basically kind of, if she wants to, can scare off some beasts. So also she's a lot faster now and stronger. So against the L'Oreal Queen, she did better. She didn't win, but she did better. And then the queen gave her the next queen symbol, which didn't really change her appearance, which she kind of thought was weird. Then gave to Rimuru one of her feathers to put into the shield and asked her if he could have one for himself, which she gives. So basically, Rimuru is, if he wanted to, could transform into a Florial and has the same powers as it unlocked in his shield, but without the problem of, oh, I don't have a high enough level. So I just thought about this. I completely skipped over something that I was supposed to do before making them go back to the city. It was the fight against Glass. Since this time in the fight against Glass, he actually, well, before even fighting Glass, the monster, he almost beat it, then she arrived. Then, before she beats it, Rimuru eats it. Then Glass tried to attack him, but before she does it to the others. Then he beat the hell out of her. She goes away, they win. The king is angry, blah 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 blah, asking how he got so much stronger. And then they go to the part where they meet back with Motoyasu and stuff happens all the way to this point. So she teleports them further away. Um, then, just like in the anime, they start going for the gate. When they get to the gate, Motoyasu's waiting for them. Then them saying that he killed the two others, which he didn't. Then, when they start fighting, Rimuru blocks, and suddenly Philo says something's coming, you need to make shields. Which basically all he does is actually just extend. Well, he put his arm up, and I would say yes, he used his shield to block, but at the same time he transformed part of his arm into his armored arm from the lizard he ate. So basically, he stopped it pretty easily. He did do the two air shields, so it has the same burn marks and hole. Then the priest starts talking about what's happening, what he did, and that he needs to cleanse them all. Then he goes to attack them, and Rimuru just kind of said, "No, you attacked my friends. That's the only thing I do not like." He looks at him, "And what are you going to do to stop me?" Then he says, "I basically have two giant animals behind me, with both Philo growing into her new form, and Ranga transforming into something that is like almost 2 times her size." He points to Raftalia, saying, "I have a beastman I have someone that I think is extremely funny to be with, who is extremely strong." And then he takes out the spear and his shield and says, "And basically I can hold two of these weapons. What can you do against me?" And then he says, "I can do multiple things against you." Then he turns his weapon into a bow, shoots at him, and he basically just eats the attack. He's like, "What is this trick?" Which Rimuru just says, "It's no trick, it's something that I do normally." And like I was saying, you have to be punished. Because, okay, I'm going out of the story, I'm going to say it. Rimuru will not harm you if you try to harm him, but harm his friend or subject, and you will die. There is no other freaking way. You disappear. So, after he did that, he says, "Then let me do it on the bird." And Rimuru was directly in front of him. He didn't have time to do anything, and basically chopped his head off and grabbed the weapon. Every followers got really scared. The spear hero didn't even have time to see a move. Ren and the other guy arrived just before seeing that, and then they see a blue kind of slime engulf the weapon and it disappears. with rimuru saying this will never be used to harm an innocent again. Not long after that, Motoyasu still tries to pick a fight against Rimuru, but the queen arrives, stops the thing, and brings them back to the castle where she will be. So then after a while she explained to Rimuru what's going to happen. Um, great priest, not great priest, but great sage, tells him she doesn't want to kill them. She still loves them. Which he says, yeah, I kind of deduced that just by the way she moved. So after a while, the day of the trial arrived. The trial happened. Everything happens the same. Up until the point where they're going to have their head chopped off. He waits a bit, and just before it happens, he gets down and says, "No, don't do it." They look at him, and he says, "I forced myself not to harm them, to kill them, when they decided to insult me. No, when they decided to harm my friends. I don't care what they did to me. But if there's one thing I never liked, it's people that I like being harmed. They did that to multiple people. So many, in fact, that killing them would be an instant relief." Then the queen asks him, "Then what do we do?" And this is the part that I freaking likes. He names them bitch, trash, and whore. Oh, finally I won't have to try and say her name, Malty, every time. I'll just be able to say the princess and bitch. So after his name is cleared, everything happens. Then after a while, the event where they can gain XP. They meet with the side guy, with the girl with the stone. She asks let's say Rimuru did do some jewelry for both Raftalia and Philo. So the girl asked him if he would be able to do something with a certain stone, shows him, and later during the day he does it inside of his body. Then the next time he sees her, he gives it to her, and she's really happy. So yeah, the event happens, they gain a lot of XP, he feeds some stuff to it, he read the stone, they found him back, then later he finds, they found the penguin suit, he gives one to Raftalia, Philo just kind of swims down. Ranga is in his shadow, and he's moving fast. When they find the building, they see the hourglass, they teleport back to the kingdom, they tell the queen, they come back, and when the fight happens with the boss, and against the side hero, basically, he doesn't just pummel them to the ground. He almost killed them. both of them plus glass for the second time. After that happened, well, it's the end of what we saw in the anime, and I'm not going to go and look at the manga. So yeah, this is the last episode for now of this. I'm really sorry about that. I would like to make more, but I don't really like reading the mangas. So later today, well, no, tomorrow morning really early, since later in like an hour or something, I'm going to start recording another video. So yeah, this was the last part for now of what if Rimuru was summoned as the shield hero. Natsu out.